town, Melembe province of PNG. Self-belief is something, and it's very important. I'd like to probably read it and talk about it while in the book. But here I want to talk about self-belief in a more realistic. Let me just say something. It's very important for me as a person, as an individual. I've identified that self-belief is something very powerful. I've read it probably in a book, but I've come to realistically had it in my own life, and I began to believe it. And believe that self-belief is one of the most powerful way to achieve the highest level of success in everybody's personal life, or one's personal life. And let me say something. It's just a lot of things that have happened to my life. And why should I talk about myself? Why am I talking about myself? Because it's about progress in life. And I've gone through a lot of the pursuit and achievement itself, fight in relations to life is given to us. I've been given life, and that is no mistake at all. Reality, and it's a fact that if I'm alive, there is a purpose for me, and there is set for me, and that is not a far-fetched. Uh, Around the world are still giving the same excuse as to why they haven't got to a certain level in their lives, why they haven't reached a certain point in the life of happiness. And I would honestly say, and they will tell you the same thing, money cannot make people happy. Excuse me. Money is not the ultimate reason why people are supposed to. It's part of the thing that makes life become better or purposes fulfilled. So a lot of people think that money is the reason why we should be happy, or why reason why we should not be happy. Thank you very much for that one particular person that's tuned in. I'd like to just make a mention of myself and the self-belief. A lot of people think that money is the reason why we should be happy, or the reason why we shouldn't be happy. But that is not true. And the reason being that even the richest people right now are not happy. The same with the poor people, they're not happy. The only difference is that the rich people can be full because they have money to eat, and they have money to spend on the luxury they wanted, and they still have a vacuum in their soul, in a being that is still searching for that ultimate freedom. And likewise with the poor people who don't have the financial power to probably uh, be in possession of the things that they would like to possess. And I think that is the reason why a lot of bad things happen, I would say. Uh, I think that is the reason why a lot of people, there is a lot of dissatisfaction. There's a lot of early death. I think that is the reason why a lot of issues happen in the world around us. There is a lot of misconception, there is misunderstanding as to what life is meant to be, what life is supposed to be. I just want to say something. This is what I believe in. I believe I was actually born when my mom became my mom was she was mentally affected when I was born, and I could have died within the 4 months of my life, or within the 9 months of my life in my mom's womb. And when I was born, my mom was mentally affected. I could have died, but I wasn't dead. I was weaned. I was adopted. And the day I actually had no school fees, I had no money to continue on to my secondary level of education. My family said, "Oh, you don't have money. You can't make it into a secondary education, so you just become a village boy. You just become a village man. Make garden, get married, and live normal Papua New Guinean life." But no, I'm going to look for myself in the rubble. So I left my home island, my village. I boarded a boat, a cruise vessel, and went to town, came to town, the town that I'm in right now. And I had no money to go to school, so what I did was to cut grass around a woman's house who was working with the hospital, and she had an income. I had to be employed by her to cut the grass to get some money to pay my fare again to go to the capital city of Papua New Guinea, which was in the year 2005. I went to I went to Port Moresby. Thank you for the person that's watching me. I went to Port Moresby, and I was actually I didn't have anybody to guide me, no one to advise me as to where to start, how to start, what to do next. All these advices, all this guidance I didn't have in my life. I was a completely lost child. I was trying to find myself amongst the rubble. That's how I see it. So I was in Port Moresby. I had little financial support. In fact, I had no financial support. I was just there in Port Moresby, uh, taking every day as it comes. I didn't know what to do, where to go, where to get employed. I was given a false security, false sense of hope. And let me say something. This is very, very important from my own personal life experience. I would like to say this. This is very, very important for young men and young women, and men and women, old age or young. This is very important. Sometimes in your life, you got to listen. You listened to somebody. You felt somebody. You heard somebody. You were with somebody. That particular person, you might feel good. You might not feel good. This is what I believe. I believe there is a principle that works, that regardless of whether you, people have money or people don't have money, there is a principle that unlocks. It's like a secret key to you finding yourself. This is very important. I'd like to say this again. Rich or poor, money or moneyless, kind or unkind, there is a key to life. There is a key to life. There is a principle that is practiced that makes one face reality. And unfortunately, for this type of secret lessons haven't been taught. If you're a public servant, you wouldn't teach your children. Make sure your kids understand reality life is in a realistic manner. And there are plenty of people who face blunder, they struggle because of the ideologies behind you trying to understand, trying the secret to finding yourself. Not many people, this is unknown to many people. And when and the key is not known by many people, and it's not known by many adults, unfortunately. And I think that is one of the things that we need to teach teenagers, children, growing teens, kids who are in school. We have to teach. If you're an adult and you're listening to me, it's very important to start teaching your kids the reality about life, the reality about making money, the reality about the things that matter, the things that break you, the characters that make you, the characters that break you. This is real. It's very, very important. If there is a discipline that you need to give to your kids, you need to give it to your kids. If there is an information that you need to speak it to your kids repeatedly, you seriously need to do it. Because we are going to lose a generation, we're going to lose a people, and asset to ignorance. Or if a parent doesn't know nothing about how to educate a child, about the realities about life, then you just imagine. I've witnessed within PNG, within PAP, There are thousands and thousands of young men and women who live in their mommy and daddy's house, who live in their parents' house, who don't have a job. They probably got a wife, or the woman probably has a husband, but they don't have a job, or they don't have a they don't have a well a job to begin with. But why am I talking about job? Job is not important. But what's important is they haven't realized, they haven't come to a point to realize that there is a life that is meant for them to live. And one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of families are making today, I mean, I can love my kids, there's no problem with that. You can love your kids, problem with that. You can love them. And I believe this is reality. I mean, this is the honest way and the hard way. It's the disciplines of life. If there is something that you need to teach the kids to learn, you need to teach them. Is it something to do with education? You need to start teaching them. If it's something to do with character, you need to start teaching them. If it's something to do with how or where they can see okay, it's not uh, it's not gonna be like a roller coaster ride. Life isn't gonna be given to me on a golden plate. Yes, maybe you can have money, but I believe the principles that matter. It is the principles that matter. The principles are the keys to kids' advancement, finding themselves in a world of confusion. It's an attitude we need to teach the kids. It's the discipline making money of a child. And I've seen it with my own personal life. People with disease. That when you are around with people, you will not believe in yourself. You're around with people who just don't pay. Important. It's always important to be around scenario. Always pursuing life. Who always have the goals and have ambitions. Who these are the people. People they believe in themselves and that you want something. These are the two things that I believe is important. And for me, I've seen it. To win that, I got lost in the city of Port Moresby. I went to church. It took me quite a while before I actually realized I'm living a fake life and I need to start to live a realistic life. And that's when I went to church. I went to thank God and thank you. I went to church. I went to church, and some of the things that changed was the self-love. Trying to see myself as I'm worthy and I'm loved and I'm taken care of. I don't need approval. I'm just happy. I'm a complete human being. And these are some of the first initial powerful emotional feelings that I got that helped me to stand up and then I transitioned into being a complete human being. Not on the money side at first, but then it turned out to be money for now. And and gradually things are changing in my life. I've seen gradual changes, and I'm happy with myself, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy with it every day. I'm not the same person. I change every single day, and I started doing certain entrepreneurial activities, and then I've transitioned from one thing to another thing, and then up until now, 2024. I'll be a different person by 2024. I believe that. I believe that I will have a business in Australia. I believe that I'll have a business account in Australia. I believe that I will have some assets in Alotau. I'll have some properties and whatever in Alotau and around the places that people business and I run flat. There, young men and women can reach their potential very fast, but it just takes the right communication. Important. But young kids find them very fast. Thank you very much.